You can work in K-pop not being an idol. You can do other things. You can work on marketing, administration, photography. So you need to find your passion, study hard. Also, if you're a journalist, don't do the cliche questions. Don't ask them, what's your favorite color? Come on, K-pop is so great and they have so much to talk about. And I think that's one way that you can actually be better and surprise people with great questions, great articles, and get out of the surface level of K-pop.
Hi everyone, my name is Cece.
I'm Chris Molly.
And this is Pod in the Verse. This is a fan-first podcast that explores everything about the music world.
Episode by episode, we'll dive deep into the latest Weverse content, get to know other fans, and stay up to date with what's going on in the K-pop world.
So, grab your favorite headphones,
get comfortable,
and dive into the pod with us. We also have a Spanish version available for this podcast. También tenemos una versión disponible en español llamada Todo en el Verso.
So, if you guys have noticed, we look very business, very formal, women in business.
Tell us why, Chris Molly.
It's because we have a very special guest, a successful businesswoman herself in the K-pop world.
I love it.
Carol, introduce yourself.
Woo!
Hi, girls. Thank you for having me. Nice to meet you all. I'm Carol Steinhert, and despite my face, I'm 29, turning 30 in 3 days from now, and I'm really excited to have you here. I'm the editor-in-chief and founder of Hit Magazine. We are the most influential magazine in Brazil, both print and digital. And also I'm the MC of Ponto Kpop, which is a Brazilian TV show for K-pop.
Wow. Well, First of all, happy early birthday.
Yeah, thank you.
Second of all, that's a very, very impressive resume that you have right there.
To not even be 30 and have all of that already.
I know, right?
Like, the impact you've had in Brazil is so huge, which is why I'm so excited to talk to you today, talk about your journey. But before we even get into this, how did you even get into K-pop?
It was actually a really long time ago. I used to watch a lot of cartoons and anime and went to all of these events in Brazil, in São Paulo. And they have a lot of mix between the Asian culture in general. So they have the Japanese area, Chinese area, and Korea area. There, I decided to enter a lot of them, and I started listening to K-pop through those events as well. But after that, then I listened for the first time Tiara song. But then SHINee came along, and I listened to Replay, and Taemin was amazing. And that was my first time that I actually said, okay, I think I'm into this and I need to continue exploring it. So it's been a very long time through those events in 2008. I started, and then it's been a long time. Yeah, but after that, it's been almost 15 years.
Wow, you're a true OG fan.
Yeah.
I'm curious, what Tiara song did you listen to?
It was My Baby, something like that. I don't remember the name.
Wow. I mean, starting with Tiara, that is...
Actually, I don't think it was a great thing for me. That's why when I listened to SHINee, I was like, no, this is it.
How did you end up going from being a fan to wanting to even work in this space?
I started as a YouTuber in 2012.
Oh, cool.
So I created a lot of videos about K-pop, doing reaction videos, interviewing artists. So that's how I started, and I went there until 2018. And then I decided to start writing because I'm a journalist. And then I wrote for a few other papers and magazines about K-pop. And then I decided to create my own thing because I saw how much the fans needed someone who really knew K-pop to talk about it and to be able to share what I love so much with them as well. So then in 2018, I created the magazine. In 2022, it became what it is today.
Oh, wow. So 4 years of hard work, catapulted you here. But I mean, did you ever think you'd be working in the K-pop space, or did you have a different dream before you even started doing stuff towards K-pop?
No, I always wanted to work with art, no matter what type of art it is. I used to write a lot, not only like as a journalist, articles and interviews, but music and poems. I love painting. I love dancing. I was a dance teacher for 2 years, K-pop dance teacher for 2 years.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Yeah. So I did all of it. I knew I just wanted to work with art in any way, shape, or form that was possible for me.
That sounds so amazing because I think sometimes when we think of K-pop, we think like, oh, there's only like one avenue to
Yeah.
it, which is like, oh, like becoming an idol, for example.
And that's
but but then you realize like there's so many different ways that you can contribute to the fandom, such as whether it's being a K-pop dance teacher, that's
Yeah.
amazing.
A content
creator, like working at concerts, working in production, working in magazines, and like even art itself can be shown in so many different ways. So it sounds like you're a very versatile artist.
Yeah, you've lived
Oh, I
many
wish.
lives and you wear many hats.
I wish.
I have a
wish.
question then. Why the magazine? Like, what made you decide it needs to be print? It needs to be a magazine. That's how I want to really bring this to my community.
For me personally, I think that I really love vintage things. I have a disco player in my house. I always loved. I love letters. I love like all things related to like the past. I used to read a lot of magazines, so it's something that for me it was quite personal as well. But when I decided to do the magazine as a print issue, is because I saw how much fans were actually buying those magazines from Korea to Brazil, and it was so expensive with the shipping fees and the price itself being in dollars as well. It's really hard for Brazilians. And they always wanted to have something that is official merchandising, something that is collectible and in their language. We never had that before, so it's the first time. And it is actually something that is collectible because it's made with the artist. We have posters. We also have photo card or postcard, depending on the artist.
Wow.
Yeah, so all of it becomes a collectible item. And I thought, well, if no one is doing that for us, we need to do it. So that's how I started. And I decided that it has to be printed.
And then I'm curious. So I know you kind of mentioned that you're an editor-in-chief. So I'm just wondering, like, how big is your team? I'm assuming that you guys have probably grown over the years as the demand gets bigger too. But what does the team structure like? And what is that process of creating an issue? Like, what does that look like?
Yeah, I'm the editor-in-chief and founder. And today, most of my work is basically creating those connections, booking the artists for the covers, organizing the photo shoots, and of course, take a look at every single editorial that comes into the magazine to make sure that we are all on the same page and it's on the way that we speak, the way that we talk to our audience. So that's really important for me. But we have also our directors for editorial, we have for design, we have our director for creators. So we have a number team. Today we have 30 people and 90% of them are women. So that is a proud something for me. I really love it. And they're all really excited to be working with K-pop. So yeah, basically when we have an issue, then we decided on the artist, we book the artist, we make a schedule around that. We talk to the company, we say, this is our schedule. Most of them want to be related to their comeback, or if there's a concert, they want to do it as a promotion. And then we decided what we want to talk about and how we want to talk about. Most of the times we actually try to make the design of the magazine relatable to the album concept. So we don't skip that. We actually really like to make a lot of good designs in a magazine. When you see a magazine, sometimes it is always just a blank white page with pictures.
Right.
But Hit Magazine, we actually work a lot on design because we know that K-popers, we like to look at beautiful things. Otherwise, we wouldn't like K-pop.
Aesthetics are important.
Exactly. Aesthetics it's amazing. And we really think that that's a way for us to reach this audience as well. And then we also talk to our creators, and they are going to talk about the artist through a video. So we don't usually do just the print. We also do all the promotions online. And then we add as well to the schedules our subway ads editorial, because we have a partnership with the subways in São Paulo, lines Yellow and Lilac, where we go with K-pop news every single day for over 2 million people per day in São Paulo.
Wow.
And also on the app cards, Uber's 99, they have these little screens, and they also have K-pop news through Hit Magazine there as well.
Okay. I've seen them in Ubers before, like those kind of screens you're talking about.
Is it the ones where they ask you like for pop quizzes? Like
Yes.
how much
Yes,
do you
exactly.
know about J-Hope, for example?
Yes,
exactly.
I didn't know that.
They do sometimes run ads on those. So
Yeah.
that's really cool.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So then I have a question then. So your team is like 30 people and you organize the photo shoots and the spreads. So do you normally send someone from your team all the way to Korea to do this? Or is this when the artist is visiting Brazil that they would do like the photo shoots with you guys, the spreads?
No, actually, every single time we book a cover, just for now, we actually receive the assets ready from the companies. So sometimes it's an exclusive photo that didn't go on the album, or it's a B-side, or something like that. But we are actually talking to a production team in Korea so they can help us do those photo shoots. But we actually had 3 photo shoots in Brazil. And it was the first time a group actually did a photo shoot in Brazil as well. It was Omega X.
Congrats.
Omega X.
Yeah,
okay.
of course.
Oh, that's so cool. Like they actually were like, yeah, we're going to do the photo shoot in Brazil with you guys.
Yeah, they came to do a concert. So on that time, we actually always try to partner up with the company to take the time that they're here to make something happen.
That's incredible.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it's like the epitome of like where there's a will, there's a way. You make it here, we will make it happen.
Right.
Like
exactly. That's the main point for us.
The name of your magazine, Hit. I have to know. Is there an inspiration behind this?
Yes, there is. Actually, Hit came as an inspiration from 17 song Hit. That song really stuck with me for a long time, and I'm a 17 fan. I really think they're amazing, and I strive to be as good as them, but on my way on my job, because they're such a diverse group and they are also good at what they do, and they do everything by themselves. Of course, they have a big company, but they're very individualized as well. Each one can edit videos, they do choreography, and I think that's very inspirational for us. Like we are a bunch of people with different talents coming together to create something. So that's the main thing that I want for the magazine. So, and they are a hit. So we want to be a hit as well.
That's so cute. And also, I feel like it's interesting because you know how a lot of times people say like, oh, fans take over, like fans kind of resemble their idols.
Yeah.
And I feel like very much like hearing your experience in your team, you guys very much resemble 17 in that way. They're very self-produced and like they're very involved in the creative and like album production, the songs, of course. And so like, as you said, art comes in different ways. And so seeing how your team creates your own art, like by yourselves, I feel like you guys are very much a hit already.
Oh, yeah. That is definitely a hit if you can. Because the fact that you have started by not just thinking like, okay, who can we get to come to Brazil? How can we work with what's already out there to get this magazine, to get some exclusivity, and to build ourselves out to the point to where one day we can have our own photo shoots and even consider having a production team out in Korea help us out. Like you didn't think, to me, it feels like you didn't just think about how many obstacles were in your way. You were just like, I'm just going to do it because I really want to do this and I'll find a way to make it happen.
I love a challenge. I really do. I always have. So I think being a K-pop fan for so long and facing the challenges as a fan actually helped me when becoming a K-pop professional. It became easier because I knew already what I have to do. And like I said, I love a challenge. I really think that whenever we surpass them, it's a reward of itself.
But you know, speaking of challenges, I want to know, like, this cannot have been an easy road, because not only are you in Latin America, which is so far away from Korea, you're in Brazil where it's even more so, like, English is not a main language there. How did you even start doing this? Like, what were the challenges that first started coming?
Well, at first, I thought it was very difficult to bring people together to actually accomplish something and to say, this is the dream. This is what we want to do. But after some time, when they saw how dedicated I was to the cause of K-pop in Brazil. And I always say I'm a little speaker because I talk a lot. I do a lot of lectures for my team where I talk about K-pop and what we can do, what's missing in Brazil. So then creating the sense of belonging and an objective purpose, then it is something that made us stronger together. But even then, okay, after we pass that, the team is stronger, but now we have to show that to companies in Brazil, companies in Korea, labels, publishers, and all sorts of companies. Especially in Korea, it's something that for now it's really good because we're getting a lot of recognition. I was interviewed a lot for Korean newspapers here.
Oh, wow.
So it's really good to be able to share that. But in Brazil, still, it's a taboo of some sorts because looking through the Brazilian companies I talk to, most of the times, when they see me with my face, with my hair, with my tattoos, they're like, oh, she's just a fan. She doesn't know what she's talking about. But even when we show numbers, we show everything that we're doing, it still is difficult. So I think that's the main issue so far. And to convince the people in Brazil, the companies in Brazil, that K-pop is worth. And with these latest concerts we have in Brazil, with the numbers, maybe that can change some things, but still it's difficult.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure. And I've heard that Stray Kids went to Brazil a couple of weeks ago too, and then they did amazing numbers and amazing shows. And it wasn't just a one night show, you know, it was multiple nights.
Yeah.
So I think definitely there's small moments that happen outside of Asia, outside of Korea, that are really helping K-pop expand globally.
Yeah,
and I think comparing to probably 2008 when you first got into K-pop versus now, I feel like even seeing the magazine succeed in such big numbers too, I think these are all small moments that contribute to the artist growth, but also to this genre of music becoming more normalized, as I would say, becoming something that we can all be very proud of. And I think that Carol herself and her team are just one of the people, just part of the moment of how it's becoming something that we really love, something that we're really proud of. And
something that they can't ignore because I mean, you're pulling numbers out here. You said that these ads get exposed to 2 million people and you are running multiple platforms. So I think that Brazil is such a massive country, and to still pull all of those numbers, you guys are doing an amazing job. I know it's a uphill battle because like you said, it's still getting the companies in Brazil to also understand the power. You are doing amazing work because we've heard about you outside of Brazil.
Right. And I think it's aspirational because just like how Carol started her magazine on her own, I think us starting this podcast, obviously partnered with Weverse, I feel like they're all different projects that we all really just have the same mission, which is connect with each other across borders, across countries, across languages, and
push for the normalization of this and the validation of it as an equal art form to all the other ones that exist out there.
Yeah, 100%.
I have to know, you've been doing this for quite some time, but what was the first career defining moment where you were like, oh wow, I think I really created something important. This is something different.
Yeah, I think there are two moments that I really can remember now. One is, of course, we had a Twice printed issue, and it was the first time we actually did a major group in Brazil, and they were coming to Brazil for a stadium show as well. It was 2 days, and it was last year, January and February. We actually had twice, because we did January and February. Each month was a different cover, but it was both with them, and exclusive interview, poster, and everything. And to have that validation, it was really good. And we thought, okay, we're on our way, because if we're working with one of the major girl groups in K-pop and we don't have even 3 years, something is good, something is happening.
Yeah.
And the other time was when I received a feedback from a Korean girl on Twitter, X.
Okay.
She was saying, okay, I need to start learning Portuguese because I bought Hit magazine. That was amazing.
Wow.
Yeah.
So somebody all the way from Korea was like, I need that magazine now. It's like
Yeah.
reversed.
Right.
Exactly.
It's like how we're always like, oh, we need to learn Korean so
Yeah.
that we can understand what's going on over that side of the world. So I think seeing that reverse thing is truly so amazing.
She's like, I need to see what the Brazilians are printing out there. I want to be able to read this magazine.
yeah.
And that's amazing because we get a lot of feedback all over the world because of it. We're selling a lot to South Korea, but also to Philippines and Thailand. And Thailand, it's really big on K-pop as well. They always comment on our stuff and they translate every single text and interview we have. We had an interview as well with another artist lately. It was a Thai artist, but he's into a K-pop group. And they translated and you had huge numbers. So it's really fun to see that reverse, like you mentioned. Yeah. For a change is good.
Wow, that's great. That's honestly great because like even like sometimes we define K-pop as just Korea, but even seeing that where like the genre of music has expanded so much globally that like it's not just in Korea, but now it's reached Brazil and like you said, Thailand. And you've been able to interview like even Thai people who like K-pop and you know, and that influence that it has on just like globally is crazy.
And I mean, you're also adding to the medium because if people out in Korea are buying your like magazine, it's because now you are part of the ecosystem. Like that is part of like if one of my favorite groups has a magazine spread there and there's a photo card there, yeah, now I have to get the Brazilian edition. Not sure how I'm going to do it. I'll use Google Translate, but I need to have it in my hands.
Maybe we need to learn Portuguese too. I think it's time.
You know, it'll be easier for us. Spanish is a lot closer than Korean.
But one thing that was really funny is that my design director, she was in Korea last month and she went to Myeongdong for shopping and she saw Hit magazine there in one of the stores.
Wow.
So that was incredible.
That must have been another career defining moment maybe for your designer. That's crazy.
Like that's us. That's me.
Exactly.
Well, I have another question. So I know you briefly mentioned it during your introduction too that you're not only the founder but the editor-in-chief of your magazine, but you also work in a TV show. Please tell us a little bit more about that. What do you do besides working as a amazing boss lady in the magazine world?
Literally.
Actually, Ponto K-pop was a TV show that was on for a long time, around 2014, 16. But at that time, K-pop wasn't what it is today. So then the TV network stopped the show for a while. And then when it came back, they wanted to do something different, something that it's new with new faces. And then we talked and I showed them what I do with Hit Magazine and everything. And they wanted someone who could actually talk about K-pop, not only read a script or read a prompter. So that was a part of it. And then I also now just started to host. We've been doing it since November, I think we started. So we are around season 3. Almost.
Congrats.
Coming up with the new hair soon. And I also help with the script. So every time I have some news I can share. We had also guests through videos like Psychers. They participated sending a message asking for their own MVs to be shown there. So we talk about news and artists can request their new MVs and interviews. We had everything related to K-pop. We talk about on Ponto K-pop. It's a weekly show.
Wow. I want to watch it now.
Yes,
that's
please do.
It gives me like it's actually kind of like, it mixes like what they do with the music shows in Korea, like showing the music videos and having people do interviews and stuff, along with like what we used to do in the US with like our music shows,
right?
Where they were so much fun. And that's where a lot of people got to know what the new music was, got to see the newest music videos. So it's so cool that they revived it and you were able to revamp it to fit what the needs are for the fandom today.
Yeah, and something that is interesting for me and the most proud moment for me around that is that I don't only talk about new music. There's a segment on the show that it's only my like recommendations, and I bring a lot of OG K-pop, and I talk about them, what they were, what they are, what they represent in K-pop, and I give them a little recommendation of a song that I really like. And I had a lot of feedback saying, "Oh, I didn't know this group. So they're not together anymore, but they're so good. So let me go and get to know them," because it's K-pop history. If we didn't have those groups, we wouldn't have those that we have today, these that we have.
And music's meant to be enjoyed.
Yeah.
Like, not just when it first comes out. There is a space for it at any point in time. And it's also so cool to see the evolution. Because sometimes the music you're listening to now, yeah, it sounds good. But if you listen to what they were doing back then, you can hear like, oh, wait, they're actually doing this and what they did before. Okay, now I see.
Exactly.
Either on the show or for Hit Magazine, were you ever able to interview or work with like an artist that you were a huge fan of when you were younger? Like, tell me about that.
There are two artists that I was so excited to talk to. One for the magazine, which is just happened because we did a cover with Stray Kids. And I'm a huge fan of them. I think they're amazing and everything they're doing. They were our March cover, and it was the only cover they did for Brazil. So that was really exciting. It was the first magazine ever to have a cover. Exclusive. Yeah. So that was pretty huge. But on the personal side, I was a huge fan of B2B. And I saw their debut and I was in love. But I talked to my bias. He's not in the group anymore. It's Ihun.
Okay.
Yeah. So when he came back lately, I got the chance to talk to him, to interview him. So that was a proud moment for me because I still have somewhere around the house the first photo card I ever had of a K-pop idol, and it was his during the Thriller era, which was the best.
Thriller was a good era.
And I always loved a rapper, so Ihun was great. Yeah, so that was a really big moment for me.
It must feel so surreal to be able to talk to, interview, work with like one of your favorite artists. And like I think that like that evolution of seeing like, oh, they were just a photo card like that I collected to now like bam,
they
like,
exist.
Right. And like I it's also like you must feel so proud too of yourself that you've reached a level and a height of how hard you worked to reach that dream that the 2008-year-old you would have had, right?
Oh, she wouldn't imagine this, for sure.
In Myeongdong.
Oh, I'm like really curious. Like, what will we find in the magazine?
Yeah, so we have an exclusive interview as well inside the magazine. We have other photos as well, but we don't only talk about K-pop. We talk about K-culture in general. So we have food, and we have K-drama. We talk about tourism, politics. We have everything related to Korean culture. But of course, we always have more of K-pop because people like that in Brazil. It's the first thing that they want to buy the magazine for. So we have quizzes as well. Which K-pop idol are you? Yeah, people still like that in Brazil.
I still love that.
I still love that. Wait, where are my quizzes?
I'm like, we should do one now.
I know, like, it's because
it's like, which BTS member are you?
It's so cool because every single thing you say, I'm just like even more amazed that like you've done this all before 30.
I feel like you've shared a lot about your career trajectory. I feel like, you know, as a fan myself, I'm also curious to know, like, what type of advice would you give to people who aspire to one day, like, reach the level that you have right now?
Well, I think studying is the main thing. You need to also find that it's something that actually you mentioned before, and I was so proud to hear because it's not everyone that says that you can work in K-pop not being an idol. You can do other things. You can work on marketing, administration, photography. So you need to find your passion, study hard. And of course, even if you don't speak Korean, if you speak English, it's a start. And then you need to start learning a little bit more about Korean. And not only the language, but the culture. As a journalist, when we're interviewing artists, it's something that I talk to my team a lot. You have to respect the culture that the artists you're talking to, they are not your friends. You're working with them. So you have to be polite, wear some sort of clothes. It's not like I'm demanding them to change their style, but when you are in a professional setting, you need to be professional. So that's something that I really talk to them about a lot. Also, if you're a journalist, don't do the cliche questions. Don't ask them, what's your favorite color? Come on, K-pop is so great and they have so much to talk about. And I think that's one way that you can actually be better and surprise people with great questions, great articles, and get out of the surface level of K-pop.
Yeah, I 100% like agree with all the advice you gave. I feel like
1000%.
working in the industry yourselves, like I feel like the advice you gave goes beyond just the K-pop industry, beyond the entertainment industry. Like, and then I feel like for me, I would add on maybe like obviously like having the passion for what you do, but also like craving for the authenticity, for the connection with other people. Because I think at the end of the day, like obviously you work very hard and then you learn from experience, but also you learn from other people. And so I think being open to talking to other people, like today we're talking to you and like learning about your experience. I think learning from even like your friends around you.
And I think the only thing I would add on to that, because both of you guys are 100% this is resonating, is like there truly is no start that's too small. Like I think everyone always gets very overwhelmed by for anything you might want to achieve in life, anything. Even if it's like, I want to go to this program in university, I want to learn a new language, I want to like you feel so overwhelmed by how much work is in front of you. But if you just start by just do what you physically and actually can in the moment. And if whether that's like, well, I'm just going to start writing because this is the stuff that I really want to write about. And I'm going to start contacting people and use the avenues I have because you were a YouTube content creator and then you wanted to pivot to writing. Okay, well, I'm going just to keep asking to find the interviews that I can find and build out from there and build a team full of people who understand just how big this is. Because as long as you're working with people who believe in the same dream, I think you can't go wrong.
Yeah. And this sounds so cliche.
Yeah.
But everything happens for a reason. Everyone's like, ooh. But truly, like, I think like a couple of episodes ago, I shared about like my experience auditioning to be a K-pop idol. I mean, back then I was like, you know, like, it's so cool. Like, I want to be like that. I want to be on stage. I want to sing. I want to dance. But then, you know, like, realistically, like I couldn't do it. Like I think it takes a certain personality, certain effort, certain dedication,
a certain place and time in life
that I feel like I didn't have at that time. And like I think besides like obviously at that time I was like, dang, like this is a bummer. Like I can't
my one shot is over.
Right. But then, you know, like I think life truly works miraculously. Like it provides you different paths that at the moment you didn't even know would happen. So I think for me, like looking back at like when I first got into K-pop in the 2000s and then when I auditioned in the 2010s, like there are always like new surprises and like, you know, I ended up working in the industry either way. Probably not the way I thought before, but I don't think
it never happens how you think it's going
and then
to.
I don't think I would ever change what I do right now too. So, you know, I think probably the 2008-year-old you would have never ever thought that like 2025 you would be doing this, having an exclusive interview with Stray Kids with Twice. You know, like I think those things truly, everything happens for a reason.
I mean, thank you so much for sharing your story with us. Like we are very much looking forward to taking some quizzes from your magazine.
100%. And trying to learn what type of idol we are.
Exactly.
Would I be the main dancer? What type of fruit are you?
What type of fruit are you?
What type of color are you?
Thank you. No, I really appreciate the invite for this. I was really excited when I heard about it. When I talked to you, Chris and Cece, thank you. And it was so nice talking to you both. And what you guys are doing is also amazing. We don't have a lot of K-pop related podcasts. I know I try to look for them, especially in Latin America. So yeah, it's something amazing that you guys are doing. And I'm really proud of everything that we as a Latino group, we are building because the fans are so dedicated and deserve so much more. So whenever we can give them more, it's the best thing. So I'm really proud and thank you. Thank you again for having me.
Well, I think that wraps up our main discussion section. And now we're going to be moving on to our next section, the Weverse Wrap-Up.
So, what's going on for Weverse this week? Let's see. Weverse hosted Cat's Eye's Gnarly fan event.
Oh my gosh, I love Gnarly. I love how different the colors are compared to their EP last year. So
different look, different sound, different vibe. I think it just shows a bit more of their versatility as a group. And I'm just so excited to see what else keeps coming out from them.
And my second highlight is that this weekend, we're going to start having the SM Town series, our dream, honestly, my dream concert ever since I got into K-pop so many years ago. So SM Town Mexico is going to happen this Friday on May 9th. And then on Sunday, we'll have it in LA.
Wow.
And then if you're not in the Americas, that's fine. Do not worry because they're going to be heading to London at the end of June. And then afterwards, they're going to go back to Asia to do it on August 9th and 10th. So wherever you are in the world, hopefully you can get to attend one of these.
I never thought I'd get to go.
I know. And then Weverse Con Festival is happening at the end of May. So it's going to be May 31st to June 1st, actually. And then the online streaming information is available now on Weverse. So please go ahead and check it out on the app. So even if you're not physically there, let's do a streaming party all together globally.
All right. Well, then that's been
the Weverse wrap up.
All right. So we're going to be moving on to our final section, the fan zone. For this week for the fan zone, it's a prompt because I like doing prompts, especially when we have virtual guests. For the people listening out there, if you were to enter the industry, like the K-pop industry, in which area would you want to and why? And I guess for us, it could be like, why did you specifically want to work in the area you work in right now?
Oh, that's a hard question.
It is. All right,
that's
Carol
a hard
first.
question. I'm going to throw it to Carol and then we'll circle back.
Okay. I really like I mentioned before, I really like writing and building those connections and creating a network of people and talking to artists about the artistry and what they're about, what they want to talk to the world about. So that for me was the main thing. Like I mentioned, I really love art and I really love music and K-pop. So I decided the best way to bring those two together was through journalism. So yeah, that was why.
Oh, wow. Like that's honestly just how the passion blooms. I feel like for me, it's like, it's similar where it's like starts from something that you know that you like to do. I never thought I would work in K-pop ever. And I never really even dreamed about working in K-pop because I thought that's never going to happen because we don't have offices over here. So, but I used to be a teacher. I used to be a teacher in Korea. And I wouldn't say that like my passion is teaching, but my passion is helping others. And so part of what I've gotten to do is I've gotten to help with like training and development on the side. And having that experience as a teacher has helped me to cross over in such a way where like it feels so right to help form like part of the training and development process, to help encourage them and to truly like value them for the people, the talented people that they are. Because one of the best parts is basically telling the person that it's okay if you're not here now, but you have so much potential to get there and I'm going to help you get there. And that's something that I feel like I just took because I loved that part of teaching, which is even though I don't love standing in the classroom and teaching for hours, I really love encouraging people.
I think that's amazing. Like, I think that's also a talent, like being able to spot someone's potential and being able to develop that to like the maximum that it can be. Like, I think that's a talent in itself.
Oh, thank you. Now, Cece, last but not least.
I think for me, I've always loved being bossy. Like, I've always loved like
I like to be in charge.
Yeah, like I think I've always loved that ever since I was a kid. Like, I'll always be in the playground and be like, you do this, you do that. Today we're gonna play this. So I think it's funny, like I've always, in that case, like I think it's turned into like event production or logistics. And so I love being able to like do a lot of things at the time, you know, like stir the boat. And so I do a little bit of everything now at my job, which I think it helps me be bossy in my own life with like scheduling my own things. And so yeah, I think I worked as a wedding planner during college because I loved like just keeping myself really busy all the time.
Okay.
And so
College wasn't enough.
college wasn't enough. I had to work, part-time jobs, everything. And so now being in the K-pop industry, I think I'm able to uh, use my talents in that way, like help manage multiple projects at a time. And so, yeah.
Well, I mean, I've loved getting to talk to all you guys about this. It's so amazing to see how all of us, just normal fans at one point, just took what we were good at and got
Mhm.
to go where we are today. And this is not it for us. There's just so much more that we can expand to because K-pop isn't something that's stopping anytime soon.
Mhm.
It is continuing to grow and inspire so many other people. And even like to inspire someone to just have an idea that soon becomes the biggest K-pop magazine in the country in which they live, still bonkers to me. But yeah, I've really enjoyed this conversation with you guys today.
I know. Thank you so much, everyone, for the great conversation.
Yeah, so please, in the fan zone, please answer if you were to enter the K-pop industry in the kind of way that you prefer. How would you? Which part would you want to be in, and why? And remember to catch us on our socials.
True. Yeah. We'll
Available
leave our
on.
socials information right here.
But before we go, Carol, tell everybody where to find you, where to find this magazine.
Yeah, thank you. And thank you for everyone watching. And thank you, girls, for having me again. It was really nice talking to you. And I really appreciate the connection. But you can find us on Hit Magazine BR for Brazil. And myself, you can find me. It's kind of difficult, the last name, but Steinhert.Carol. I hope you guys will be able to find it through my last name. I swear it's only difficult from the first time, but I really appreciate all your love. And if you don't know the magazine yet, we talk about everything related to Korean culture. And we have also Ponto K-pop. If you're not in Brazil, you can also watch it online through the network's website. So it's a really fun show. You can watch a lot of K-pop MVs, get to know a lot of new groups and old groups because we OG, we need that as well. And you guys can share whatever insight you have for the magazine, which artists you want to see on the magazine next as a cover. That would be very interesting to know which ones you guys would think would be a good artist for you both.
Oh, okay. Sweet. We'll get to thinking.
I know.
Thank you so much, Carol. Thank you, Cece.
Thank you, Chris Molly. Thank you, Carol.
And this has been
Pod in the Verse. See you next week.